does the MLB not meddle enough, or do they meddle too much? Which is it in those situations?
I'll speak to the A's situation because each situation, Eric, is individual. And generally speaking, in a broad sense, MLB lets the owners run their teams. And that's what they do with their franchises. That's just how it is. Now, years ago, when Frank McCourt was running the Dodgers into the ground and keeping the team's money for his own private use, MLB stepped in, kind of forced a sale. That hasn't happened with the A's. You can argue that maybe it should have happened, that maybe Manfred, as commissioner, should meddle in that situation. What I am asking in my article today is not for him to meddle because it's sort of too late for that. What I'm asking is, why is John Fisher getting this free pass from Major League Baseball? Why is no one questioning everything going on with this team, starting with what's going on the field? If I'm an owner of another club, that team is an embarrassment to my industry. That is a blight on what we've got going on here, which in this situation, in this season, is a lot of positive things. So that's number one. Number two, and this question was raised in an article in The Athletic by Saris and Steve Berman. Who's to say Las Vegas is this unbelievable market for baseball? Now, I know football is there and I know hockey is there. Baseball's different. And is Las Vegas going to be able to support a Major League Baseball team 81 nights a year? And I know tourists will come in, but are they coming in for baseball in the middle of summer? That remains to be seen. So the question I'm raising in this article is, why the free pass? Why is John Fisher immune from any criticism internally from MLB, from what I can see, what I can understand? Why has Manfred not been harder on him? Why has he been so accommodating? That's the word I used in the story. Why so accommodating to an owner who has not done well with his team, who is one of the lowest payrolls, well, the lowest payroll this season, and a team on a 131 loss pace? 131. They're only on track to win 31. Not good. So that's the point that I'm making here. Why are we letting him run amok?
I'm with you, and we've made sure that this story is covered at length with other writers, with other players, even former players, especially like Chris Bassett was telling us all about the good old days not long ago where the place was wild and they had a ton of talent that all could have been signed to extensions if they threw them out there back then, and they didn't. So do you think if owners could break silence and speak about it, they would be fuming? Because like you said, it's a bad product. It's actually stealing headlines often from the sport on a more national and casual audience level who is not necessarily paying attention to the swing of a certain player, but they see the headline of a team moving and it being a movie. Also, the other part for me is owners love money, right? They love making money. Well, the expansion fee is higher than a team now just moving to Vegas, and his obviously value of his team is going to go up probably $1 billion plus and get tax money. So if I'm an owner, I would have wanted one of the top markets in the country, the Bay Area, to have two teams, which is good for business. And then if Vegas wants a team and they win one out, they pay whatever that fee would have been, like $2.5 billion, which goes to all the owners. So I'd be on the phone with the commissioner's office all the time being like, wait, what the hell?
Right. There are 29 other owners, Scott. I seriously doubt they all have the same opinion about this. I would imagine some are asking questions. One question is, why take a team from the sixth largest market and stick them in the 40th largest television market? That's seemingly not a great trade for a sport that depends quite a bit on local TV revenue. It's changing that model, I get it, but it's still a factor. So that's one thing. And baseball's response, the A's response is, we've tried with Oakland. It's impossible. We just can't get it done. Now, there are two sides to every story. Certainly, Oakland's had ample time to get this done. Certainly, it hasn't happened. So I get them wanting to move. I'll even grant them that. But why are we talking only about this market? Why aren't we talking about one of the potential expansion cities that is larger, that might be more fruitful for Major League Baseball in the future? These are the questions that if I were an owner, I'd be asking. And I'd also be asking, why are we going to a market where he's going to need revenue sharing? Again, John Fisher is going to need revenue sharing in Las Vegas. There'll be a revenue sharing recipient. Why are we doing this? And, how much is he going to spend in payroll when he gets there? I'd like to know the answer to that question. Is he just going to be in it the same way he's in it in Oakland, make money, or is he going to be in it to maybe actually try to win games? Because guess what? The commissioner said a while ago, oh, John Fisher wants to win. I ain't seeing it.
No, you're right. It's a money thing. And the last thing I want to ask you about in terms of the league is I get the vibe sometimes from talking to some people that I know that work for teams that everyone thinks they're going to be the Rays. Like the Rays kind of set a bad example because they're so good and they don't spend that much. And I'm always like, well, there's only one Rays, okay? They've got something really special going and they keep doing it. But do you think other owners are licking their chops when they see that and they say, hey, we can do the same thing. We can draft and develop well. We don't have to spend much. We don't have to keep guys long-term and sign these big-ass deals. Do you think that's become more of a thing lately in the league?
There's no question, Scott. Every team wants to operate more efficiently, to get the biggest bang for its buck, to incorporate young talent so that if you're a big market team, you can be flexible enough to go get a Mookie Betts if you're the Dodgers, or name a free agent, a big one. It always helps to have the balance in your payroll. You can't have, well, except maybe for San Diego, a bunch of $40 million players. So, yeah, sure. Every team does view Tampa Bay as a model in this regard. In fact, sometimes the Yankees seem like they want to beat Tampa Bay, not when they're buying Garrett Cole, but doing some of the other things that they do. So, sure, and that's fine. Hey, every business wants to operate at maximum efficiency. We all get that. But there comes a point you just can't have a team full of kids. You have to spend around them. And that's going to be the question the Reds face as their kids come up. Are they going to put some people around them, put some veteran players, quality veteran players to supplement this roster? Are they going to do that? The Orioles at this deadline. Now, you look at the Orioles right now, second best team in the major leagues. Can't punt at the deadline this year. You're going to need a starting pitcher. You need one right now, actually. Another good veteran would be really good for this team. Top of the rotation, all the better. Can't simply say, we got these kids, we've got these cheaper. No, you've got to go for it. And that is where teams sometimes run into not a difficult situation because it's where you want to be, but it's an uncomfortable situation for them. They're not used to spending, and they have to spend all of a sudden, or they have to trade prospects all of a sudden. We don't really want to do. No, you have to do that to win.